So far, all of our Python programs have executed statements sequentially. In a program that has 3 lines of code, we expect line 1 to run first, then line 2, then line 3. While this execution model has already allowed us to introduce some level of interaction with the user, the real power of a programming language comes when you alter the sequential control flow of your program by deciding what lines of code to execute, not to execute, or to execute multiple times based on certain conditions. In this lesson, we introduce conditional execution as the most basic form of non-sequential control flow in Python. Welcome, and let's get started. Conditional execution in Python is mainly supported by the if statement. In its simplest form, the if statement has the following syntax: keyword if, followed by a condition in the form of a Boolean expression, a colon character, and 1 or more lines of code to be executed if the condition is true. All lines of code in the body of the if statement must be prepended with a tab character, and we say that these lines are indented 1 level. The first line of code after the if statement that is not indented, that is, the first one that no longer includes the tab character on the left, is interpreted by Python as being outside of the body of the if statement. In Python, code indentation serves 2 purposes. First, and most importantly, it tells the Python interpreter what code to be run under the condition given by the Boolean expression. Second, it helps the programmer to visually understand the structure of the code. Let's look at an example. The following Python program reads a number from the user and converts it into a float. The program then prints a message only if the entered number is negative. After that, the program concludes by printing a final message unconditionally. The way this program checks whether the number is negative is through Boolean expression x less than 0 as the condition in the if statement. Let's look at a possible execution of this program. When the program starts, line 1 prints message enter number into the console and waits for the user's input. Let's assume the user enters number -2 and presses enter. The program then moves to line 2, converts string -2 into a float, and saves it in a variable x. In line 3, the if statement checks whether x is less than 0. The condition is true, therefore the program proceeds executing the body of the if block in line 4, printing a message into the console that says x is negative. Finally, line 5 prints end of program. Now let's consider an alternative execution of this program where the user enters a positive number instead. Line 1 prints enter number, to which the user replies 5. Line 2 converts it into a float, and line 3 checks whether the number is less than 0. This time the condition is false, and this makes Python skip the execution of the body of the if in line 4, going straight to line 5, where message end of program is printed. As you can see, conditional execution takes our program to a new level of interaction with the user. The user's input may determine not only the content of the messages printed in the console, but the very sequence of lines of code executed by the program. Also, notice that the if statement lets us use any type of Boolean expression as its condition. The complexity of this expression can range from a simple comparison of a variable with a constant, as we just saw, all the way to an elaborate compound Boolean expression using multiple relational and logical operators, such as those we studied in previous lessons. If you enjoyed this content, you may watch the rest of this lesson at computersciencecamp.com, linked in the description below. You'll be able to follow along with coding samples and problems in our embedded code editor. Drop your questions in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to help support the channel. Thank you, and happy coding!